Verse 3. Neither as being lords
Being
over
what?
neither as being lords
Go ahead.
over God's heritage.
Meaning what?
Meaning not being the protector of something?
Mm,
Or
remember, like, think of the context of what we're reading this in.
like it's saying, so is it saying like not trying to be like the boss of everything? Or?
Yeah, like think of that spirit. Like we don't get in this truth to be a tyrant. You understand what I'm saying? We don't get in this truth to just be over people. To point the finger at people like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we're here for. And that's not why brothers come here, because this is the Most High's heritage. You know what I'm saying? This is the Most High's people. So you don't come in here to take advantage of the Most High's flock, right? You come in here for what? You come in here to teach. You come in here to learn the book. So now this person that comes in next, he can learn how to read it, right? Keep going.
Neither as being lords over God's heritage,
Mm-hmm.
but being examples to the flock.
Ensembles.
Ensemble
Mm-hmm.
to the flock.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. And when the chief shepherd shall appear.
You know who the chief shepherd is, right?
Would that be the Most High?
That's Christ.
Correct.
The Most High don't appear, right? Well, he appeared, but Christ appeared, right? When the chief shepherd, he's the top, right? When the king appeared, go ahead.
Appreciate it. Excellent job. Well done, Akim. All right. Clap it up, Akim. Let's get it on. Please allow me, por favor, to answer all your questions, a tus preguntas. Mi nombre es General Mahayman. Estoy al servicio de el General Yahana. Nos somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125 Harlem, Nueva York. Desde 1969, debajo del mando de el General Yahana. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, españoles, negros o indios nativos, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa. Pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Already. I'll take all of your questions right now in the room. You want to make sure that you're well armed to go out on the street, on the internet, and right in your baby's mother's mouth and tell her the truth. Everyone understands. I'll take your questions whenever you're ready.
This is from.
Can I grab a pen and a piece of paper, please, too, if you have it?
This is from Leonard Jr. Salaki, sir, if I may, can I
That's exactly. Every living thing wants the true children of God to rule the world. Everything is in mourning. The land is aching with anticipation. The very air that's being poisoned every day wants to know, when will the true shepherds of God rule this planet? When will the true governors govern over this world, man? The animals, the bees that are going extinct, species of animals that go extinct every day are waiting for you to rule the world. They're in suffering and they're dying for lack of your lordship. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, Claro KC, every living thing is waiting to see when the children of God will be revealed and when they will rule the world. Any other questions?
Just I want to make an announcement, sir. ISUPK headquarters is in the building as well.
Give ISUPK headquarters in the building. Good to see you out there. Headquarters, if you have a question, please just let me know, all right?
Cut out of what goes, sir.
Let's get it on.
This is from Salatiza.
Mhm.
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat,
Mhm.
One. Salati, if I may, sir, can I have a breakdown on Daniel chapter 6 and verse 10? Why did he pray on his knees 3 times a day?
No problem. Go ahead and read it.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 6 and verse 10. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house.
Let me just give you some context, all right? Daniel was living, I believe this was Babylon at the time, if I'm correct, right? He's living in Babylon, and his enemies were set in high positions in the government of Babylon, much like the enemies of Commanding General Yohana and his men in the UPK. Our enemies sit in very high positions in this country, in Great Britain, in France, all over the world. People hate us because we reveal that the true Jews are blacks y Latinos. And that is the greatest mystery on the planet Earth. It also reveals that Jesus Christ is a black man. And that is, of course, something that the world cannot exist with that truth coming out. So because of that, we have enemies that sit in high positions in every government. It was the same way with Daniel. He had enemies that would go to the king's ear and poison his name in the king's ear. So finally, the king made a decree that no one could pray to any god except for the king. And they worded it in a political way, like no one could make a petition to anyone except for the king. And then, of course, with legal jargon and with the mouth of a snake, they twisted that into meaning you cannot pray to anyone else. So Daniel, when he heard that rule came down, this is what he did. Go ahead. You don't have any ice, do you, Warren? I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Daniel 6 verse 10. Now, when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem.
Yeah. When he went to his house, he heard, my God, now praying is illegal. Praying is illegal. When he heard about this, he went into his house. He faced the window that faces his home. He faced that window, and he looked at Jerusalem all across the world. He's facing Jerusalem, reminiscing, wanting to have his own homeland where he could be free to pray to his God. So he turned to the window and faced Jerusalem. Go ahead.
He kneeled before his knees. He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day.
He kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day. Why did he do that? Because he was in dire times. He turned to the Lord more than usual. I remember, brother, I was thinking back, we're talking to Ephraim out of headquarters, man. I remember being, in my 20s, and the thought of troops and the Marines patrolling America would have been like a science fiction movie to me. It was something that could not happen. When it happened during COVID, it was like, oh my God. Just seeing someone in a military uniform with an AR-15 outside was like, what is happening? It was such a gigantic thing because it was something that only happened in the movies. That's it. And now it's everywhere. Now they're ripping you out of your homes and snatching you out of your cars. Now you have the military stopping street crime, which would have been an insane thing. What does that tell you, however? You never know what could happen. You just don't know. You can assume that life will stay the way it is, but you don't know that. That's why he prayed 3 times a day, brother. That's why he did it, because that was the time he was living in. And he decided, I better step it up, because I'm living here in this evil land. And I better get my mind on mi casa. I better get my mind on my home. So maybe I can get it again. Maybe we can go back, because living here is unacceptable. Living here, I'm not allowed to walk down the street, to raise children, to go to school. I need me home. I need my home, mi casa. I need to be able to go back. So he prayed 3 times a day facing Jerusalem with the earnest desire that he could have it once again. That's why he prayed 3 times a day. Everyone understands. Anything else?
Yes, sir. This is from Ashwan. Shalom, Lord in Christ, sir. Can I get a breakdown of birthdays?
No problem. Birthdays are the worship of another God. What God is that? You are the God that is worshipped on birthdays. As you know, in the law, we are forbidden to have any gods before the Lord Yahweh, which is our God. On your birthday, you are the God. If you worship Valentine's Day, the God you're worshiping is the she-wolf, whose name is Februa. That's her name in Latin. She was the wolf that suckled Romulus and Remus. Later on, Romulus killed his brother Remus and named Rome after the person who murdered his brother. All right. White people have always loved the murderer, always fantasized and glorified the violent man, which is why Rome is named after a murderer. All of the Greek gods murdered their fathers or murdered their sons, because our oppressor loves murder. He gets a sexual release from it that unless you're a psychopath, you couldn't understand. Well, Romulus and Remus made February to worship this wolf, right? They made August to worship Augustus Caesar, all right, or Octavian Caesar. All of the months are to worship a God. Every day of the week is to worship a God in Spanish and in English. And the day when you worship yourself is your birthday. That's the day when you get to be the God. That's the day that you're the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is the day you worship Nimrod. You're giving the tree the gifts. You're giving the tree the gifts because Nimrod's soul is in the tree. On your birthday, you get the gifts. You're Nimrod. You're the tree. And you get the gifts, but we can have no gods but one. Shema Yasha Allah Yahweh Nawa Hawa Akkad. We can only have one God in Israel, so you can't be a God. That's the breakdown on birthdays. You can Google this. All right. Is there anything else?
Sure.
Go ahead.
This is from Rafa Ayad. Sloppy, sir, if I could, can I get a general breakdown of Matthew chapter 25, verse 46, and how to explain this to people that this is not the same eternal punishment they learn about in the Christian church?
That this is not the same eternal punishment. Oh, like hell, I'm assuming he's meaning, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal.
Okay, give me a verse or two above it, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Matthew 25, verse 44. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Verse 45. Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. So first, to get the point, this is Jesus Christ telling you how to attain the kingdom of heaven, how to attain rulership on the planet Earth, right? What do? He's going to leave. But when you do it for his brothers, even the least of his brothers, meaning the youngest one, the baby, the trooper, the brother that carries the crates and dumps the trash, when you do it for him, you do it for me. So by taking care of my men who I leave, that's how you'll do it for me.
And if you do it for me, you're going to rule the world. That's the point. All right, keep going.
Verse 46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment. But the righteous.
And these ones that would not, that I would reign over them. They don't want me to rule. They prefer Donald Trump to Jesus Christ. So many of you are like that. You prefer your fraternity to the nation of Israel. That's what you prefer. I get it. You prefer the Democrats, the Republicans to the chosen people of God. I understand everybody gets a choice, free country. Here's the problem. Here's the problem, though. If you want this country, you don't get the next one. You don't get ours. You won't get that one. This is how you get the kingdom, right? You're going to have to prefer Jesus Christ and take care of his men because he's leaving them here and he greatly loves them. And he wants to see everyone follow them. And if you don't want to follow them, you don't want to follow him. And then you are purged like a sickness is purged from a body. Continue.
But the righteous into life eternal.
So read that part again. I believe this is where his question is. Go ahead.
And these shall go away to everlasting punishment.
These shall go away into everlasting punishment. So he believes that this is what's speaking about burning up in some pit, I guess, underground, right? Let me tell you something, man. There was a time when I had to find metaphors to try to describe how hell was on earth. I would hope that there are metaphors more readily available now. I would hope now it's a little easier, for me to describe it. It was hard to describe it when Barack Obama was in the White House and you thought he was going to cancel out all your credit card debt and make college free and make healthcare free and everything was going to be wonderful. Commander General Yohana going out and telling you that Jesus Christ is fighting for a kingdom made people say, slavery's in the past. All that suffering you're talking about, that was in the past. I've rarely heard that knock anymore. I remember hearing that every day. Slavery is in the past. That was every day for 20 years. Every day. Slavery is in the past. You don't hear that much anymore because now suffering is in front of your face. This is not talking about some spiritual place where, your essence suffers. This is talking about a place where your essence suffers and your body here. Those brothers and sisters, brother, that can't come out of their apartments for fear of getting arrested, they are in hell. Those brothers sitting up in prison every day, 23 hours a day, in the same prison where Donald Trump should be next to them in a jail cell. He's a felon. 34 counts. Can you imagine sitting in a cell for 23 hours a day because it's overcrowded? Not because you belong in there, but because they have no more beds. So you're in there. In some prison in El Salvador or in Mexico, sitting in the prison, freezing cold, and waiting for some gang member to decide whether or not you can eat. And Donald Trump is a felon. He's a 34-count felon. Those brothers in prison are in hell. They're in hell. Now, how do you get there? From being one of these people 2,000 years ago that preferred Caesar to Jesus Christ. That's how you get there. The precept I would use is body and soul in hell. I would go straight to the point. Fear not him that can destroy the body, but he that can destroy both body and soul in hell. Hell is a real place, except it's here. This is it. This is it right now. That's why you're afraid to get in your car, afraid to walk down the street, afraid to pick up your children from school. You got sisters down there in Minnesota, brother, who are working in Dunkin' Donuts, working in there every day, getting up, making next to nothing in Dunkin' Donuts. And they got to rush and lock the doors so an ICE agent doesn't come and rip them from behind the counter of Dunkin' Donuts. Not a criminal, some sister working in Dunkin' Donuts, some brother working every day to feed his children. And he's scared to death to go to work to feed his children. So that means those children have to starve. This is hell. This is it. Come on now. No, you need the microphone.
I saw a video of this agent. He arrested a 2-year-old. In handcuffs, sir.
Brothers and sisters, this is hell. This is it. Vámonos a su casa. Vámonos a su casa, cruzando de el río Rodán. Vámonos a su casa, cruzando Rio Jordan. Let's go back home across the River Jordan, brother. Let's leave this place. Let's get out of here. That's the point. We're in hell right now. We're in hell right now. I'll prove it to you with this. Go ahead and read it. Tell them where you are. The one about body and soul.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not what killed the body.
So this is Jesus Christ speaking to his men once again because he's about to leave them. And he's saying, don't fear them that shall kill the body. People that threaten your life because you speak the truth. Don't be afraid of them. Keep going.
But are not able to kill the soul.
You see, the people that can kill your body can't kill your soul. Keep going.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Read that part again. This is all you need.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
You see, hell is not a place that your soul goes to. Hell is a place that you go to body and soul. We are in hell. Your body is in hell, being riddled with the COVID-19 virus and with AIDS and with high blood pressure and with diabetes and with cancer. Your body is here and your soul is here suffering from depression and sadness and misery from your childhood and misery from poverty and having to watch your mother work every day and break her back and sit home with swollen feet and to look at your father and see what not having money and the lack of self-esteem that comes from not having money, you see what it did to your father, and that hurt your soul because his soul was hurt. This is hell. This is where you go to suffer. This is everlasting suffering. Everyone understands. All right, next, please. Microphone. Please.
This is the Satanic Bible, religious holidays, page 93. The highest of all holidays is the Satanic religion. The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birth. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of religions, which deify a particular God who has been created in anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that ego is not really fair. If Satanists feels, why not be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your own image, why not create God as yourself? Every man is a God if you choose to recognize.
That's some nonsense online. But the point is true at the core of it is that birthdays are the worship of another God, which is you. All you need to do is just look up the origin of birthdays. That's it. Oh, that's the words of the Bible. So wait a minute. So in the Satanic Bible, they're telling you how evil a birthday is, and that's why you should do it. It's the best one. Okay, well there you go. They know best. They know how to worship Satan better than me. That's for damn sure. All right, so that's so they're the experts on that. No problem. Is there anything else? Mm-hmm.
Shalom, General.
Shalom.
Can I get a general breakdown of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 51 of the show?
No problem. You got it, UK.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 51.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Mm-hmm. This is for time's sake, meaning when Jesus Christ returns, and not everyone will be dead. Not everyone will be dead. Some people will be dead, but not all of us. But all of us will be changed. Meaning the same way if a body dies, it loses its flesh, and it needs to be reincarnated because the flesh is eaten away and the bones have dried up. So this soul gets a new body, right? So your body is changed. Your body has decayed, you get a new body. That's reincarnation. But when Jesus Christ comes back, people are going to get new bodies who did not die. Do you understand? They won't die, but they'll still get new bodies. Keep going.
Yes, sir. In verse 52, in a moment.
In a what?
In a moment.
In a moment, meaning as opposed to you die, you decay, and then years later, someone has a baby and you come back into the earth. That's reincarnation. It's a season, it's a time, right? When you come back. Not this day. This day, yes, the dead will get out the graves with new bodies. Other people who will be alive, they will still be changed in the blink of an eye. Quickly. So imagine Jesus Christ's return. You're at camp, which is always brothers in the school, their fantasy. You be at camp speaking. And as you at camp speaking, all of a sudden you hear the trumpets roar and Jesus Christ is returned. Dead bodies get up out the graveyard with brand new flesh on them. They start walking around. They get on the chariots. You, all of a sudden, you're taken up right off the podium at camp. And in the sky, you get a brand new body. Except this body doesn't have the trauma of being here in hell. This body doesn't have the diabetes and the blood pressure and the sickness and the sadness. You get a brand new body in the sky in the blink of an eye. That's what this precept is talking about. Something well worked for. All right. Good to go, UK?
This is from No Power, Cincinnati. Can you break down the cloud? First Kings chapter 8 and verse 10.
No problem. You got it.
First Kings 8 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass when the priests were come out of the holy place
Mm-hmm.
that the cloud filled the house of the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
So that the priests could not stand to minister because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord had filled the house of the Lord.
Give me some context. This when Moses.
This is the first Kings.
Okay, remind me of what this is about if you could. I don't recall.
Oh, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
I started verse 9.
Please.
Verse 9. There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tablets of stone,
Mm-hmm.
which Moses put there at rest
Mm-hmm.
when the Lord made a covenant with the children of Israel when they came out of the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. It came to pass when the priests were come out of the holy place that the cloud filled the house.
I might need a little more. I just can't recall what's happening here.
Yes, sir.
Say again now. This is Kings. This is not Moses. I got you. Moses, we talked about because of the 10 Commandments. Is this when Solomon became king? Take me to that just so I can get the context, all right? Go ahead. He was already king. I just can't recall this incident. You might jog my memory of it. If not, you'll have to wait a second just until I remember, all right? I don't recall. I can understand what's happening, but I don't remember the context. You can read a little more if you need to. Go ahead.
This is the book of First Kings 8 and verse
Mhm.
5.
Mm-hmm.
And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled with him, that were assembled unto him, were with him before the ark,
Mm-hmm.
sacrificing sheep and oxen
Mm-hmm.
that could not be told nor numbered for multitude.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And the priest brought in the ark of the covenant of the Lord unto his place,
Mm-hmm.
into the oracle of the house,
Mm-hmm.
to the most holy place,
Mm-hmm.
even under the wing of the cherub.
Gotcha. Let me try to I'll just explain what's happening here. This sounds like it's when Solomon became king, but I can't verify that yet. But now all the people are doing mass sacrifices, so many of them, thanking the Most High God for giving them a new king, I believe. All right. They take the Ark of the Covenant, which has the tablets that Moses broke when he came down and saw that he received the tablets from the Most High. Then he broke them because the people were sinning. They put the tablets inside the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a giant box overlaid with gold with 4 images of angels at each corner of the box. They took it, and I think I remember it now. This is when they sanctified the temple. This is when the temple was first built. Remember, Solomon had to build the temple. His father started it but could not finish it because his hands were too stained with the blood of other Israelites to finish such a holy work. So he passed it to his son Solomon to finally build the temple. So this is the day when the temple was open for business. He opened the doors. So they're in there making sacrifices, so many sacrifices you couldn't even count them, brother. They're bringing them into Solomon's temple. And Solomon's temple was, so you can imagine it, it was like a college campus. Many people were imagining it like a church, like one building. It was not. It was a group of buildings. It was many buildings and courtyards. It was, imagine, a college campus. That was the temple. The temple had grounds and multiple buildings and gardens in the temple, stables for animals and oxen in the temple, because it was like a college campus, not a gigantic city, but a small place like a college campus would be. Everyone understands, right? So they're in there making sacrifices like crazy. Then they took the Ark of the Covenant and put it in its permanent home. Remember, before this day, the Ark of the Covenant had to travel in a tent. Our most holy relics that we kept from the Most High God to prove that we are the Israelites, those things were kept in a tent. That's all we had. They were kept in a tent, in the tabernacle, in a tent. Finally, the Ark of the Covenant had a stable place to keep our most precious goods. Our giant candlestick. The candlestick in the temple, man, was like tall as this wall. Like, imagine this wall up here, this thing, it was about that tall. Gold, solid gold, more golden candlesticks. That was the great candlestick of the temple, this giant 6 foot, 7 foot temple that was wide and was made of gold. 6 foot, 7 foot candlestick that was made of gold with 7 branches. All of the swords and everything, the things we have on our Sabbath service equipment, is in commemoration of the things that we used to have in the temple. All right. So finally, the Ark of the Covenant is going to be in a stable place. So this is the moment when they put it in there, when they went to take the Ark of the Covenant and to put it in the temple. That's where we're at right now. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 7. For the cherubim spread forth their 2 wings over the place of the ark.
That's the angels I told you about that are at the 4 corners of the ark. The word cherubim means angel, right? And the wings were spread over the 4 corners of the ark, which is once again a box. Okay, keep going.
And the cherubim covered the ark and the stage thereof above.
Keep going. The staves is the staffs. There were staffs going through the sides of the golden box, which is the Ark of the Covenant, and these giant golden angels covered the staffs, right? So you can look online and see an artist's depiction of it. We should have some in the school, but that's what he's describing right now, the Ark of the Covenant. Keep going.
Verse 8. And they drew out the stage, that the end of the stage were seen out in the holy place before the ark.
So they took the staffs out of the side of the Ark of the Covenant, which is why we have these staffs right here in every Israelite school of UPK. That was a common practice, to put your name on a staff, your family lineage on a staff. And these staffs went through the sides of the Ark of the Covenant so the Levite priest could carry it. All right. They took the staffs out and showed them to the people. Keep going.
That the end of the stage were seen out in the holy place before the oracle, and they were not seen without.
The oracle is speaking about the place where they kept the Ark of the Covenant. Keep going.
And there they are unto this day.
And that's where they are unto this day, which is at the time when this was written down by the author. Keep going.
Verse 9.
Now I think we can skip down to the point.
Verse 10.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when the priests were come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled the house of the Lord.
So now when this happened, brother, imagine like smoke. A giant cloud came into the temple of Solomon, brother, just to further ensure that everyone would know that this day is a special day. The Most High God often does that through times so that you'll never forget them. He does something so that this day will not be forgotten. He makes a miracle happen so that this will print in the minds of everyone that was there, and they will write it down and they will tell their children. So now when the Ark of the Covenant came in, smoke came in through the temple. Imagine a giant cloud of smoke rolling in through the temple. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 11. So that the priest could not stand to minister because of the cloud.
So the priests that would like to stand up and speak to the people, they can't, because they can't see, because there's a giant cloud in front of everyone. Keep going.
For the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord.
That was the point. So that the glory of the Most High could fill this house, so everyone could know this temple was ordained by God. This temple was truly ordered by God's hands for man's hands to build it. That was the point for the brother to ask the question, all right? Is there anything else? Go ahead.
If I may add one,
Please, Levi.
so in verse 3, the feast of the seventh month, which
Say that one more
corresponds
time.
in verse 3 out of 1,
Uh-huh.
it was the feast of the seventh month, which corresponds with the blowing of the trumpets.
Uh-huh.
Birthday of the seventh month.
Are you asking me a question?
No, I was saying, sir, it was,
I got you. So you're just letting everyone know that that feast of the seventh month is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. Is that correct?
correct, out of 1.
Solid. By ND. By ND. Well said. Go ahead.
Sir, this is from how to become United Kingdom.
Mhm.
Also, sir, if I could get a breakdown of Genesis 3, verses 17 and verse
Mhm.
8 and verse 18.
Please go ahead.
So God, this is the book of Genesis, 3 and verse 17. And unto Adam it said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
He just wants a general breakdown, the UK. Okay, this is Adam and Eve, and this is the first sin that was ever committed, which was committed by Eve. She was the one that deceived. She is the reason that death came into this world. When I say death, I mean the curse of death. Untimely death would not exist if our woman did not prefer the counsel and the advice of a white man rather than her husband who got his advice from God. I'm saying a white man to make it very simple to you, all right? That's what the serpent in the Garden of Eden was, a man that was before skin color, a man that was before oppression in America, but the devil nonetheless. And that same spirit right now has the minds of so many women today. All right. So she listened to the serpent, to the snake, that liar, rather than listening to the God that spoke through her husband. Keep going.
And had eaten of the tree
Mhm.
of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
These trees are not literal trees. Like so much of the Bible, virtually the majority of the Bible is written in dark sayings, metaphors. It's spiritual talk, much like slang is to Blacks and Latinos. It's spoken in a language that's spiritual, that's slang, that's metaphoric. This is not talking about an actual tree, but it's talking about the constellations that Adam read to communicate with the Most High God. Adam invented writing. He invented the written language. Before the written language, people just grunted and talked, and that was that. No one could write. There was no language to write. But Adam looked up at the stars, and he connected those stars. And he understood that the Most High God was saying something in the writing of the stars. He could read them. Then he went on earth and began to connect objects on earth to make a written language. He took a tent, which is dalath, da, and took a wheel, which is ta, and made dot. He began to connect objects to make sounds the same way he connected the stars to communicate with the Lord, because he was blessed with intelligence. And that intelligence is what rose him above all the animals and above all the people of the earth. That intelligence that God gave him. And he used it to subdue the planet. Until, of course, intelligence wasn't enough. He had to be like them, which is, a man's fatal flaw is jealousy over people that have more than you do. That's the fatal flaw of a man, especially the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah is sick with jealousy and envy over people that have more than you, and you're willing to do anything you have to do to get it. All right. Well, Adam had that same problem. And so, and his wife was the conduit for him having that problem. His wife wanted more than she had, more, to experience more than she experienced. She was able to read these constellations that told her how to name the animals, what to eat, what not to eat, what to drink and what not to drink, how to dam the river to create this and to create that, how to get the plants to grow. He's reading the constellations, but this constellation, don't read that. This one you're not allowed to read. So every day she would go, what's over there? Okay, I can read these, but boy, that one, that's where the power is. And that's what the serpent told her. If you read that one, the one he told you not to read, you will be a god. Instead of listening to God, you will be a god. That's why he doesn't want you to read that one. Oh, that made great sense to that woman. That made sense to her. She went to her husband and said, listen, this one, we reading all of these constellations. We need to read this